All right, let's talk about CPMs on Meta ads. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss the ins and outs of CPMs, what they mean, how to interpret them, and I'm going to break it down for you in a really simple way so that you can kind of understand them and work with them, okay? So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, so first of all, we have to define impressions and reach. Very important for you guys to understand. So number one, impressions. That's the number of times your ads were on a screen, okay? That's not to be confused with reach, which is the number of account center accounts that saw your ads at least once. So reach is different from impressions, which may include multiple views of your ads by the same account center accounts, or in this case, you can think about it as people, right? So now what is a CPM? CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions, okay? So the cost to get on 1,000 screens. Now, I think of this as basically the market rate that you're paying Meta to advertise, okay? So in general, we're trying to pay the lowest market rate as possible, but this CPM metric has a lot of different factors that go into it. And we're going to discuss, some of the different factors. We can't cover them all because it's like a rabbit hole. You can never really know exactly what's contributing to a CPM, but we definitely know some. So number one, how much conversion data is in your ad account, right? So if you have a very trained ad account, trained pixel, you have a lot of conversion data, you typically will have a lower CPM versus a brand new ad account, no ad account data, no pixel data. You'll usually have higher CPMs, okay? Next, what else contributes to a CPM? It's impacted at a macro level, okay? So if there's a lot of advertisers in general, CPMs are gonna rise, right? So think about back in 2024, Temu raised CPMs for everybody. They were pouring in hundreds of millions of dollars into the ad auction, and that was driving up our CPM costs for everybody, okay? But not only that, holiday periods can cause CPMs to rise. Just basically when there's a lot of advertisers, we tend to see CPMs rise. Also, CPMs are affected by the geography or the location that you are advertising in. So if you're advertising in the United States, you're going to see one CPM. If you're advertising in Europe, for example, you may see a completely different CPM for the same ad. It depends on the specific niche that you're in, right? So again, if you have a super competitive niche where there's a lot of different advertisers competing for the same customers, then you're going to see CPMs be higher. The type of ad creative format also dictates your CPM. So some ad accounts I see you get lower CPMs with static images, while others, Reels, give you a lower CPM. Your perceived quality from Meta's perspective of your ads, right? So there's this thing called the quality ranking score. So let's look at that. So you can see we have quality ranking. This is at the ad level. We have quality ranking, engagement ranking, and conversion rate ranking. So that's another thing that contributes. So just remember this. We've talked about this in previous videos, but Meta, their main concern is the user experience, okay? They want users to have a good experience on the platform. They don't want them getting scammed. They don't want them seeing, content that makes them leave Facebook. Their goal is to keep as many daily active users as possible, keep as many people on the platform as possible. So that's why it's so important that we create ads that are perceived by Meta to be high quality, okay? And how do they rank that? Well, with these three rankings here. We have our quality ranking. So that is a ranking of your ad's perceived quality. Quality is measured using feedback on your ads and the post-click experience. Your ad is ranked against ads that competed for the same audience. Okay, so we like to see above average here. Okay, that's ideal. Next, engagement rate ranking. A ranking of your ad's expected engagement rate. Engagement includes all clicks, likes, comments, and shares. Your ad is ranked against ads competing for the same audience. Okay, great. And then last, conversion rate ranking. A ranking of your ad's expected conversion rate. Your ad is ranked against ads with your performance goal that competed for the same audience. So these three things actually contribute to your CPMs. Okay, what else contributes to CPMs? Well, Your Facebook page feedback score also contributes to your CPMs. Now, I believe Meta, today is May 7th, 2025, and I believe they're doing an overhaul on their Facebook page feedback score system. It used to be something where basically when somebody bought something off of your ad on Meta, later on, after a certain period of time, they would get a survey on Facebook or Instagram asking you about the quality, the shipping, the communication, and some other questions about their experience with you. And you would get a score based on that survey from 0 to 5. And if you were higher up, closer to 5, you'd get higher quality traffic and lower CPMs. If you were lower down to like the 2 range, you start getting low quality traffic, higher CPMs. And then if you dip down below like 2 or 1, you start to get disabled for a period of time. And then if you go too far down to like closer to 0, you get disabled altogether, permanently banned. So I haven't seen any of my clients have a Facebook page feedback score in several months, so I have a feeling that they're overhauling this. But that was something that was taken into account as well for your CPMs. So let's just summarize. So we said macroeconomic conditions, the niche that you're targeting, location that you're advertising in, how many competitors there are in that niche, your creative format, your perceived quality of your ads, your Facebook page feedback score, and how trained or untrained your ad account is. Oh, also, last one. So if it's a new ad account and you try to go broad right away, that might not work. It might give you extremely high CPMs. Your audience settings also contribute to your CPMs. So let's say you're trying to go broad right away. For whatever reason, the ad account's not having it. It's not giving you good results. You might see lower CPMs, better results doing a more narrow audience sometimes, okay? So it's not always go broad or bust like some people preach. Sometimes more narrow audiences work better, believe it or not. So look, that's not everything that contributes to a CPM. I'm sure there's more that I'm honestly forgetting, but I would say those are the main ones. The thing about CPMs is it's not the end all be all. We're gonna talk now about how to interpret them and how to kind of work with them, okay? So let's jump into that now. So here's the way that I like to think about CPMs, right? So just on a very broad level, let's start here. Number one thing that I'm concerned about is dollars and cents in my bank account as a result of my ads, okay? So I don't really concern myself with so many soft metrics like CTR, hook rate, hold rate, cost per click. Of course I look at those things, but the first thing that I'm looking at is, am I getting sales? Yes or no? What's my ROAS? What's my CPA? What's my AOV? And how much spend is my ad getting? That's what I'm primarily looking at. If those things are good, okay, great. Then I'm gonna keep the ad. If they're not, I'm probably either gonna lower it or close it. Now, if I wanna start really analyzing why this thing is working, I will look at the CPM, the CTR, all that stuff. But primarily focus on the results first, and then you can also look at CPMs secondary, okay? So if you have good results and you have low CPMs, that is like nirvana. That's where we wanna be. You're not paying that much for the traffic and you have good results. Your ads are profitable. That's the goal, okay? So I used to call this, so back when I didn't really know what I was doing, I would launch the same ad over and over and over and over. And sometimes it would do terribly. And then other times it would randomly do extremely well, okay? And I was like, how is this possible? I didn't understand. And I used to call it hitting the vein. It was like, whenever I would hit the vein, it was like my results were like 10x compared to my normal results, okay? Now that I understand how Meta ads optimize and how this chain works, I know that it's creating little pockets based on who initially buys from the ad, right? So for those of you that don't know, you put your ad out into the world, Meta looks at your audience settings, your conversion data, and it will put the ad out into a big pool of people, okay? And there's a randomness to the initial results, meaning we don't know who's gonna make that first like, that first comment, engagement data. We know that Meta looks at that data and will then start to show the ads to more people like them. And then we really don't know who's going to make that first purchase. That first purchase or those first few purchases are extremely important because it's going to optimize off of them. Okay. We know that Meta tends to try to do a little retargeting at the beginning of an ad's life to give it its best chance of optimizing and also giving you a dopamine hit so that you keep advertising. But my point is that first person or the first few people are your ideal customer avatar, then it tends to optimize in a good way. And it's shown into like a pocket of people that are like the first person, so it stays in that hot pocket and it will continue to give you good results as long as you don't touch it, right? And how long that lasts, sometimes it lasts a very long time. Sometimes if the pocket of people is not that big, it won't last that long. But in general, if you see good results, low CPM, you might be in a hot pocket, meaning the best thing you can do is just don't touch it, okay? Now, let's talk about good results with a high CPM, okay? That might be acceptable. If I have good results, but my CPM is high, I'll accept it, right? But I'm always looking for that CPM to come down, right? It might mean I'm reaching a higher tier audience that Meta deems as more expensive, okay? But again, if results are good, I'm leaving it. Now, let's talk about bad results and a low CPM, okay? So now we're down in this quadrant. If you have bad results and a low CPM, it might mean that your ads are getting served to a lower quality audience. I'm not entirely sure how Meta dictates like what a good user, high quality user is versus a low quality user. But from my experience, when I have bad results and a low CPM, I can like look at the people that are engaging with the ad and it's usually just like, you could tell it's not your target audience and it's not working out. So when I land in bad results and low CPM, I tend to be a little bit quicker to turn things off and, try something else. Now, what if we see bad results with a high CPM? That can mean a lot of things. That can mean your pixel is untrained, your ad account is untrained, you have the wrong audience, your ad just optimized poorly. So we talked a second ago about how Meta ads optimize. What if that first purchase was just a random one-off purchase of somebody that's really not that interested in your brand? Maybe it was a gift or something. Well, it's going to be shown to more people like them, and maybe it initially looks like it's going to do well and then starts doing bad. And then you start to see your CPM rise, right? That can happen. Poor optimization. Didn't hit the vein, Or maybe you have bad creative. It's either not resonating with the target audience or Meta perceives it as low quality. Maybe the landing page that you're sending to, people are clicking off quickly, or that people just aren't engaging with your ad, or Meta scanned your ad and just perceives it as low quality. Like there's a lot of factors here when you have bad results and a high CPM. This is not good. So this again is where I tend to be really quicker to close things, and I will try something else basically, right? So especially if it's a new ad account and I see bad results, high CPM, I will try typically a different audience. So let's say I did advantage shopping campaigns and I got bad results, high CPM, I will then go in the other direction. I'll try a narrow audience, original audience options, same creative, just to see if I get a different CPM and different results. And a lot of times I do. And if, let's say, the narrow audience gives me better results, I will kind of head in that direction, okay? And I'll start just using that original audience, more narrow, and test a bunch of different creatives, products, offers in that direction until I build up conversion data in my ad account until I can eventually go broad, okay? So that's the overall strategy. Now, there's more. So we also have to look at the direction in which the CPMs are going. Are they going up or are they going down? Okay, so this is the way I like to think about it. If you launch a new campaign and it starts with good results, but then you start to see the CPMs creeping up over time, that means that it's potentially losing its way. It's not, what I mean by that is it's losing its way from finding your ideal customer avatar. Okay, so it could be just optimizing poorly over time. Or maybe, again, Meta starting to perceive your ad as not the best quality. What I would do in this case is I would keep a close eye on it, okay? If you start to see the CPMs getting really high, again, if it's still good results, I'd leave it, but just watch out. Your results may start to come down, okay? So that's what I look for there. Now, what if it's good, starts with good results and then CPMs start falling, okay? That means it's likely entering a hot pocket or hitting a vein, and you should leave it alone. Give it time. That's a good sign. This is where we want to be, okay? What if it starts with bad results and CPMs are rising, okay? It's likely to fail, okay? That's usually not a good sign. If it starts bad sign, and then CPMs are going up, even worse sign, okay? So I would be, again, keep a really close eye on that and be ready to potentially close it. And then lastly, starts with bad results, but CPMs are falling. Okay, again, you're gonna keep a close eye on it, but there's a decent chance that it's gonna improve. Okay, there's a decent chance that it might start getting better results and stuff like that. So this is generally how I think about it. I try not to focus so much on CPMs because it can be a rabbit hole, because you can't really like explain every single reason why a CPM goes up or down, or it can be a rabbit hole. But this little mental model has helped me interpret the results. So if this is useful to you, use it. If it's not, no worries. Just make sure that you understand that CPMs are the way that you're being charged on Meta, and it's important to at least keep an eye on it, okay? So yeah, that's everything I wanted to show you guys. All right, that's it for today's video. I hope that helped you understand CPMs a little bit better. If you have any questions or doubts about what you just watched, I really recommend that you comment below and I will answer all the questions. If you guys are looking to get some extra guidance or want to join a supportive community of experienced advertisers, I highly recommend that you check out my Meta Ads community called Meta Ads Mastery. Click the link in the description to learn more. Take care, you guys. Thanks for watching.